savage worlds, whether we're at the table or over the internet. In our role-playing game, fantasy is just the beginning. From the Wild West to the depths of outer space and beyond. Anytime, any place. They're all savage worlds.
Nope. It has been a weird day. Welcome to Crucible of Realms. I am Jamie, your GM. With me tonight is only Ben. Only Ben. So,
Yeah.
not only Ben. Ben.
I think one of us is like having to move out of their house because of black mold.
Someone's moving out of the house because of black mold. Someone else is like in Europe.
Yeah, like come on, Haley, like Scotland or us.
We're making that line in the sand. So, also, if you tuned in this afternoon or watched on demand, I guess is the correct term, we had a chat. I had a chat with Richard for the Strange Owl Emboria Kickstarter, which has funded, and I got to hang out and chat. Also, it was really tough to interview Richard, but really wanting to be chatting with Ryan Ranieri, who does, hoping I'm pronouncing his name right, I'm probably butchering it, who did Blackbirds, commented on the t-shirt. It was serendipitous. So tonight, we could have canceled. That was the easy thing to do. But we're off next week. I had a great Quentin Tarantino meets Guillermo del Toro adventure planned for two of our players. But as I only have one, we are instead going to do Pocket's Last Night at University. A little one-shot to introduce you a bit to Pocket's background, his backstory. Introduce Ben to Pocket's backstory. Every time I say your name possessively, I hear it in Andy Serkis's voice. Pockets is.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
So, Ben,
All right.
you do not have access to your deck
I don't. Okay, so
because you are not in the city.
that's true. I'm not in the city, and who knows when
You'll probably still watch your character sheet. Don't
Yeah.
put that.
Okay,
You're gonna need that.
but I'm just extra useless.
Yeah, try not to.
Okay.
Continuity would be really just screwed to hell. if you
Or
died
learn
in
something
this
else
one
about
shot.
pockets.
Yeah, the Pockets has been dead all along.
Well, he was undead when we first started this.
All of Crucible exists in a snow globe that he is holding on his chest
In the last
and-
dying moments of his.
in the last dying moments of his life. Yeah. I feel like sort of elsewhere kind of story.
Yeah.
So, you are in your second year
All right.
at the School of Arcane Magical Enlightenment.
Okay.
We know that Pockets is the great-grandson of the Monkey King, Sun
Sun Wukong. Yep.
Sun Wukong, the 8 times immortal monkey, descended from a line of great and powerful monkey warriors, monkey mages, monkey martial artists. And Pockets is at this magical academy. Why is that?
It's punk. Pockets is terrible. At least that's the going story. Basically, Pockets was inducted at a very young age into his grandfather's dojo, along with all of his monkey cousins and brothers and sisters. And it was discovered that not only did he have 2 left feet, but he had 2 left hands, which were also feet. And was deemed ineligible for progression in the martial school of the Monkey King.
So,
I suspect in an effort to both save the family reputation and also to perhaps provide a future for young Pockets, he was sent away to Magical Academy as soon as he was able. And I assume he sort of was allowed in on the reputation of the Monkey King, or perhaps an extraordinarily large sum of money. Because I can't imagine, given his progress so far, that has been a particularly stellar student.
a donation on behalf of
Exactly. A endowment, we might call it. Endowment in the name of the
The
monkey.
Monkey King wing
Right, exactly.
of the gymnasium is being built.
Exactly.
Okay, so we find Pockets this night running from or to somewhere.
I imagine at this point in his life, Pockets hates running anyway.
Okay, so is he?
So
So this is bad.
this is not good. Yeah.
So what I'd like you to do is first off, give me an agility roll. To
Okay.
See if you collide with the person as you come around the corner. There is somebody that you.
All right. I have 1-4.
Okay. So the -2. Do you want to spend a penny, or do you want to just see what happens?
Am I still have 4?
You are still at 4. You are lucky. Do you want to spend one here? Okay.
We'll just,
You collide with this figure, go flat on your back, tumble head over tea kettle, lay splayed out on the floor of the stone corridor that runs along the outer edge of the enchantment wing of Sane. And it's got all of the kind of carved out windows that just look out into the vast nothingness that exists not in between realms, but kind of here in this pocket dimension where the university
so like spinning galaxies out there, or just empty?
There's spinning galaxies. Every so often you see something dark pass between you and the stars. They have recommended that students do not look through the cognitive glass panes for too long, for though they will shield you from whatever is out there. Those who gaze too long into the abyss sometimes go squamish. And,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So as you kind of write yourself up, books scattered everywhere, half-written scrolls, potions that do not smell right. We've established that Pockets is sort of the worst
Yeah.
of everything. Like the D students, Pockets looks up to, right? You got a lot of heart, kid. Is what you keep being told. But after 2 years of, well, maybe this type of magic isn't for you. This figure is in a gray woolen robe, and you see it kind of skitters down the hall. Not skitters, somewhere capers from like one leg to the other, hopping back and forth, but moving quickly, and quickly leaves the corridor and runs.
Hey man! Just knock me down, leave! I'm cool!
At this point, Yina, one of the few classmates you have established a rapport with,
Alright.
comes slithering around the corner. Yina is a serpent folk. She is humanoid from the waist up, long serpent
Sort of a
tail.
naga?
Sort
Ish?
of. Yeah.
Okay.
More like a yuan-ti.
Okay.
Get
Alright.
specific. And she's just kind of, oh, Pockets. What happened this time? And she kind of like bends down or kind of, coils down to kind of help you pick things up.
Strange men in hoods knock me down, keep running.
Strange men in hoods.
Yeah, it happens. We're in a magic academy.
Yeah, but there are specific wards to prevent strangers from appearing inside the walls.
Okay, so maybe I didn't know him. Maybe he's new.
Pockets, you leap to a lot of things, but conclusion, quite a bit. And at this point, there is a gong that goes off. Now, they use the gong in the school to alert students to different things. Right? One gong is just kind of the changing of the bells. Classes start, classes end, lights out, that sort of thing. The single gong of time that kind of governs the rhythms of your life here. 2 years in, still haven't figured it out.
Is it like the gong of time? Is it like a specific gong?
It is, well, you don't know. You think you know, so there's a tower set not far from here.
Not the tower.
Not the tower. You
Okay.
don't know about the tower. There's a tower.
Okay.
And it is guarded by 2 silent monks. Never say anything. They are armed with strange weapons that look like maces that have their heads covered in like quilted cloth, tied off like big 2-handed maces, and they guard a door. You have, I assume, several times tried to bluff your way past the Buckingham guards.
Hey man, I'm the new gong washer.
Yeah.
A gong washer is a thing. It's like a gong farmer, but you don't farm them, you wash them.
You do know what a gong farm is, right? Okay.
Pockets might not know.
One does not wash the gong that they farm. That is ontologically counterintuitive.
I don't know, man. I just got here. They told me to do it.
2 strikes. The second strike happening right now is a call for all students to return to their rooms.
So like lockdown gong,
Lockdown
dong.
gong.
So how does that happen?
It has never happened as far as
Really? So they're just gongs on the hour, but 2 gongs. Oh.
2 gongs is bad. 3 gongs. Give me a common knowledge roll.
Okay. D8. I'm not that kind of stupid.
Suddenly, Ben looked at his character sheet and was like, I've been playing pockets all wrong.
Yeah, double 2s. So I have no idea what the 3 gongs mean.
The
So dugongs are like these big leathery manatee-looking critters.
3 gongs has to be even worse. As you look around, you can see that Lina's eyes are... Yes, Tink?
I'm aware of the fact.
Have a minute. Ben is aware. But Ben is a consummate role player. The only reason I know what a gong farmer is because it's one of the occupations in Dungeon Crawl Classics, and
the name of their zine, yeah.
yeah, I was like, what's a gong farmer? Like, how do you farm gong? Oh, it's a crap job.
Just total shite.
It's all pooping, as Trish would say now after watching a lot of Ted Lasso. Yina's eyes go wide. She's like, we're under attack. The school is under attack.
That was 3 gongs?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe the guy that ran into me was actually here. So in your face, Lena!
You really take this moment
Yes.
to rub your friend's one thing.
It was a stranger in a strange hood. But I guess we should probably go hide now.
I am proud of you. Ben, what is Pockets' dodge? Or sorry,
Perry?
parry.
It is
Yep.
4.
All right. So, Yina grabs you and kind of pulls you around the corner as you hear the cognitive windows start to burst. And you can see something is out there. It is dark, black carapace. It's hard to see. Your eyes just kind of want to slide off of it as you don't want to look at it. And there's this revulsion in your stomach. But it is breathing out this ghostly white flame. And it's just blowing open the side of the corridor. Glass goes flying. Bricks are like the stones are melting. And you hear screams. The fire doesn't roar. It screams. And it's coming towards you, and you and Yina kind of run around the corner.
Okay. We're supposed to go to our quarters, or is there like a special attack bunker?
Are you asking Yina because you failed your knowledge?
Orientation was really long!
Pockets! By the silver scales of Sanatha, do you know nothing? Have you learned nothing in your last 2 years here?
I'm really good at cards!
She grabs your arm and starts slithering quickly,
Okay.
pulling you along. the 3 gongs ring out again. They're ringing out they're intoning every 3 to 4 minutes, the triple gongs. You hear more sounds of explosions as if the whole school is under attack. You hear the groans as if the foundations, there's this deep rumbling vibration that comes up through the floor into your legs. Yina's eyes kind of keep darting to the floor as you kind of are darting around. You can see teachers pulling students into classrooms and the doors disappearing.
So, has this happened before? Did someone mention that at some point, that this sort of thing happened before and I just missed it?
The school has been under the Accords for 7 centuries. No attack has happened since that time. And as you come around the corner, there are 2 figures standing in front of you. In the rooms, they're kind of touching the walls as if like trying to find a door that has just disappeared. And what's strange about these creatures is that while they look humanoid, parts of their body have been replaced with silver and gold. It's very strange to you. You've never seen anything like it. And they are wearing blood red vests that are inscribed, etched with like a flame motif that kind of comes up around their collar, and then their heads, the flames kind of continue. You assume it's a tattoo at first, except you can see the flames, like the ink writhing on their head. And suddenly the flame shifts to one side of their head, down their ear and their neck, and one of them turns to look at you and says, well, 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 this is easier than we thought. Kill the snake. You know what to do with the monkey. The 2 of them draw strange wands and look at you.
Oh, good. So, Yina, did you bring any sort of offensive weapons? Potentially, just to a normal day at school? No? Good, because neither did I.
What'd you get, Ben?
8 of diamonds.
You are up first.
Okay, we're running, and we're screaming.
You want to run and scream? You want to turn this into a chase?
I mean, I got no bit of powers, and I got no weapons, and I got no really fighting ability. But that's been made clear. Like, that was the whole reason I'm here.
Well, you do have a little bit of fighting.
Yeah, like a 4.
Okay. You want to run.
And I'm very squishy. Very little toughness and very little parry. So, we're gonna run.
All right, then. Just when JM thinks it's safe to run an adventure and plan for it, he forgets. Then. All right. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to lay these out.
All right.
If you get to the end of this line, you escape from these figures. You don't know who they are, but they seem to want to capture you alive.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to give you the Zeppelin for the chance that you may go up in flames.
You, the humanity!
That seems fair. The skull are the ones chasing
Fair
you.
enough. Yep.
All right. So here's how this works. Bet each of these represents a hallway in the academy. If you can get all the way to the end, you will escape these bounty hunters, not knowing what they want, who they are, or why they're in.
Was that an accusatory statement? So, I don't know anything about anything. I haven't know anything about anything.
If you fail,
Okay.
if they catch up to you, they are going to try and initiate combat.
Okay.
So, because you are in the lead and you are going first, I'm going to let you get a free, every round you get to choose what you want to do. As a free action, you get to change position.
Okay.
You're going to make an athletics check. If you win, if you get a 4, you move 1 space. If you get a raise, you move 2.
Okay.
If you take your entire action to do it, you get a +2 to this action.
Okay. Now, assuming because this is a magical school.
It is a magical school.
And
anything in the magical school that you would like to be there for a Benny is there.
Oh, okay, that's nice. That's real nice.
Yeah.
So it's been around for 700 years, with any number of devious magic users having
It's been around longer than 700.
at least 700 years since the
700
Accord.
years since the Accord.
So longer than that.
Yeah.
So during that time, any number of devious magic users have undoubtedly created secret magical passages between different rooms, locations. I assume as one of the students and one of the worst students who doesn't really do a lot of studying clearly, I'm aware of at least some of these magical passages.
If you want to take your action to give me a common knowledge roll, or just spend a Benny. Yes.
I'm going to spend a Benny just
All
to
right.
say that I
You
actually
happen-
know about some of them.
You happen to know that right around the corner, in a little alcove, under a statue of Quinius III, the founder of the School of Arcane Magical Enlightenment. If you duck behind the statue, there is a portal key right on this tiny. If you touch it, it takes you into the alchemy.
All right, we're going to do that.
Give me your athletics check at +2 because you're trying to get out of here.
All right. Athletics is D8. Okay, I'm reasonably athletic. I'm the Monkey King's kid after all.
Great.
All right, that's a 6. So that moves that. That's another 6. Buttons. All right, double 6s. So
13. All right. As you go leaping, the one thing that we've established that Pockets is great at is running away. Leaping from side of the hall to the other side. Serpentine. You've watched enough Game of Thrones to know that serpentine is always the correct. You run in a straight line, you get shot in the back.
right. Plus, I'm with Yina. She's already good at 17.
I, against my better judgment, will give you a As you go darting back and forth, you come around the corner and you see the statue of Quintus. I am going to roll for my guys, who have a D8 in athletics. And let's see what they got. So they both succeed. So the good news is you move ahead 2.
All right. We have the raise.
They only move up 1.
Okay.
You start to get a lead on them. Unfortunately, they're going to take shots at you and Nina.
Okay.
Now, because of the range, they're going to be at -2
Okay.
to their shots. So they need 6s essentially to hit you. They miss. These bolts of ruby light come out of their strange wands. You hear this noise, and they blow holes in the walls. You can see up ahead that something moist and undulating comes bursting through a window, and it starts to unfold and unroll into a myriad of tentacles that end in like a triple kind of half grabbing articulate finger, but they have teeth on the inside of them.
Okay.
And you duck behind the statue and touch. It's a bronze statue, so you know the well-worn spot.
Yeah.
You touch it, and almost instantly the smell of hackberry and serpent root and hemlock fills your nostrils. You can see there's a half dozen students hiding behind one of the rows of workstations. There's a teacher, kind of her 4 wings kind of spread out and around, guarding them.
Are we talking like angel wings, like seraphim, or are we talking like butterfly wings?
They are butterfly wings.
Oh, very cool.
Gossamer wings.
Okay.
Yeah. You have no clue what they would actually stop. Like maybe a stiff sneeze. But all of the lights are out, and you see it's one of the professors of one of the more advanced classes who says, Yina, and you, get down. They're right outside. And you know that they were right on your tail. So.
Yeah. 2 of clubs.
Oh, buddy. All right, let's see how these guys do. They are running to catch up. All right, one moves ahead 1. The other guy moves ahead 2 because that's all he's doing with his action, so he can't do anything else. So someone comes into the room. Listen, stop running. You're making this harder. You're just gonna die tired.
As opposed to dying, feeling fresh and invigorated.
Yina reaches out and does nothing. She kind of looks around for anything to throw at this guy. He's up throwing like an ink pot, a couple of quills. Nothing. You want to keep running?
Yeah, I'll run.
Okay.
Except there's a whole bunch of other kids in here that are probably gonna get smoked by. All right, so in the end, Pockets is not that horrible. He's not completely chaotic neutral.
All right, okay. So, I mean, clearly you're not really here to talk, but I mean, why are we like breaking the accords and attacking everybody and trying to kidnap me?
So you're the last.
The last.
We end you, and we end the prophecy.
There's a lot of prophecies, like a lot of prophecies. I mean, Crucible is like, that's all they do in Crucible. So you gotta be more specific.
The blood of the Monkey King ends tonight.
Well, hate to break it to you, but he's like 8 ways immortal. And he's been alive for like hundreds of years. So I'm guessing that by now he's got like a few more different, schemes for not dying. So just saying, your prophecy might be outdated and this might not work. So this is a big risk you're taking here.
Give me a persuasion roll, because that's what I feel like you're doing.
Sure. We're mostly just trying to talk and not dying. No, that's a 6, so.
I hate to break it to you, kid, but it's already over.
I mean,
Gates
is
of the
it?
Celestial Palace have already been thrown down. 8 ways immortal, 9 ways dead.
I mean,
He kind of holds up his silver arm, and you see this light kind of light up, and you see the Celestial Palace just in ruins and on fire. And
yeah, that's not good.
You can see cousins, siblings, grandparents, just like being carted off and like laid on this burning pyre.
So, this is a school of magic, and I know people can get inside your head, and they can make you see things. So, I have no reason to believe you, man.
All right, next round. Are you ready or are you staying? You can see the portal shimmering as if another one's going to
Is
come
the
in.
teacher doing anything here?
No, at this point she's protecting the children.
Okay, alright. Is there windows in here?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna try and throw him out a window.
Right. Give me an athletics check.
This is a terrible idea. But he's probably not expecting it. Come on. Yeah, that one explodes. And that's where it dies. 7.
Do you want to re-roll it? Because I rolled a 14.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's a 6, so that's not gonna get me.
So you run up and you grab them and you start wrestling, and you hear Yina going, "No, Pockets, get away!" And she's currently mixing something. Pockets, you're too close.
I mean, it's kind of like, maybe half a second ago.
Does he have a weapon on him?
He's got the strange wand and he's got a large knife at the side.
Okay, can I try and wrestle the wand out of his hand?
Sure. Give me an opposed strength check.
Oh, that's my best ability. 0 in strength.
You can't have a 0 strength.
I can't?
No, you have a D4 at minimum.
Okay, so I have a D4 in strength.
You just gotta get it to explode twice. You'll be fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not happening.
8 was what you needed. He kind of pulls the wand from his hand and cold cocks you across the face with it. What's your toughness?
My toughness is 6. But I assume I'm not wearing my jacket, so that keep fine.
Pockets, would you like to soak the wound that you just took?
Sure, why not? Thank you.
Tink put together our very special Pockets image for tonight.
Excellent.
We had to.
I don't know if I've seen it. I'll look it up. All right. So soaking is going to be bigger, right?
Bigger, yep.
All right, that's slightly more. So that one explodes.
All right, you don't take any damage, but he throws you over the table, skidding down the workbench, falling off, taking several stools onto the ground with you. At this point, Enoch throws whatever she was holding, and it hits this guy in the chest, and it sort of kind of hits, and it starts foaming on his chest, and he kind of looks down, and he goes to wipe it off, and his hand like kind of gums to it, and it keeps foaming, until it's got his arms encapsulated, and it keeps spreading, and you hear Yuna give out this like woot of joy until the foam covers the man's mouth and then his nose, and his eyes go wide in terror, and he starts convulsing. She goes, I didn't mean that to happen. Do you think he's okay? At this point,
I'm pretty sure he would have done that to you too, so that's fair.
the next guy comes through the portal. All right, he's in the room with you.
We really need to replace that statue's back. This is clearly not a secret room anymore.
What do you got, Ben?
Queen of Hearts.
You go first.
All right. The other guy is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I assume he's not terribly worried about his friend. I assume he would probably follow me if I left. All right. I do finger guns at Yina. Don't follow me! I heard dash out the door.
All right, give me your athletics check.
All right. That's a 7.
All right. You pull ahead.
Okay.
You hear him trip over something. As you enter into the hall, you can see that to your left, there is a dragon-like thing. It is weeping from multiple wounds that have just been opened on its neck and its side, and just dripping blood that hisses as it pits and bubbles against the stones of the school. You hear the scream of a fellow classmate, and you can just see like a mangled, dissolving arm pull back into an alcove. To your left, or so that's to your left. To your right, you can see like one of the main stairwells. It seems to be open. Up gets you to the tower, and down takes you deeper into the school.
And the tower is presumably...
That's where the time gong is.
Okay. And am I familiar with what this creature is, with all the weeping...
At your action, you can give me a common knowledge roll.
I'm gonna run away.
Okay.
This seems more appropriate at this moment. That's not gonna happen.
Are you heading up or down?
I was trying to head up.
All right. He catches up with you.
Oh.
And you see at this point, he pulls out what looks just to be like a sword hilt. And he does something, and this tongue of fire erupts from it. He takes a swing at you.
Hey man, I don't want to
What's your
harsh
parry?
goodbye, but some people I know are pretty litigious about this sort of thing.
What's your parry?
My parry is a 4.
All right, so Pockets, he gets you,
Yeah, he does.
and he shakes you. Do you want to spend a Benny to try and soak it?
Shake is -1, right?
Yep. Now, shaken is you can't take an action unless you make a spirit roll.
Okay. Yes, I better do that.
All right.
2 double d6. Darn it.
All right. You are shaken.
Yep.
As he goes to take another swing, what'd you get?
King of Hearts. I'm
All
just...
right. I got six of clubs. You get to go first. And as you go, you feel something weird. He cuts you across your thigh, just charring your upper leg. But you manage to pull back so that it's a bad burn, but it's not going to take you out.
Right.
And you feel something cold slip down against your thigh. Something heavy in your pocket that wasn't there before.
Alright, I reached into my pocket.
There is it is cool, smooth, and soothing. And kind of,
It's like a hard object?
yeah, it kind of
Okay.
vibrates a little to the touch. Like you feel like a soothing kind of warmth rise up like a vibration on your fingertips.
Is Mom calling?
Like, why I pull it out? I pull it out of my
It is a
pocket.
small, black case.
Huh.
Golden lock. About 3 fingers thick. And when you shake it, it makes kind of a shuffling noise, kind of back and forth.
Huh. All right.
You have no clue what it is.
It just appeared in my pocket.
Here in your pocket.
All right. I'm gonna. Does the lock open?
Yeah. All right, Ben.
What is it? A deck of cards.
It is a deck of cards.
Excellent.
And as you kind of hold on to it, what was the first card you drew from the city? The one that made you...
The one that made me undead?
Yeah.
That was... Where did that go? That was... the... Khalees, the first steward, the archwizard, the first damned among the strong. Hey! I'm undead now.
You are undead now. You touch the card, and immediately the death figure looking upside down at you kind of reaches out and grabs your hand, and your skin just starts to rot. Falling from your bones, you see parts of it are exposed, your fingers grow into claws, and you feel it kind of just wash over you.
Okay.
The guy in front of you just... What do you do?
Brains!
You attack him.
Okay. Would that be fighting?
That would be fighting.
Okay. It's fine.
5 hits. What's the damage with your claw?
My claw damage is melee attack deals strength plus 2d6.
Okay.
Armor piercing.
All right.
So that's a d4 plus 2d6.
Roll it.
Those both explode.
So we're at 13.
15. Okay. 13, 17, 18.
All right, so Pockets, you've had no formal, I mean, you've had informal training.
Right.
But you've never actually attacked someone in anger. Until now. You don't know whether it's the fear, the magic, as the hand still dangles from your exposed ulna, the card holding on to your bone. You lash out and you rip the throat out of this guy trying to kill you. And he coughs up blood. You pull out the windpipe. And as he hits the ground, he just kind of looks at you, kind of coughs up blood, and hits the ground. And when he does, the silver eye that was kind of, the metal plate that was covering his eye kind of pops free. And you can see a bunch of little spindly legs come out of it, and it starts running down the wall.
Well, that's creepy.
You do, I mean, it does look kind of tasty.
No, no.
All right, what do you do?
He's running down the hall toward the.
Heading down towards the dragon.
All right.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
There you go.
Can I mean, the dragon is coming up the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Ina and the rest of the students seem to be back inside the room. Is the door gone now that I came out of?
No.
Okay, there's still a door there.
No.
Alright, I'm gonna somehow get the dragon's attention so it doesn't go in the room.
Okay.
Um,
How are you going to do that?
First thing I'm dead.
Give
Hey, Daddy.
Give me a persuasion roll. Let's see what happens.
okay. That's gonna be a 6.
All right. The dragon, snarling, kind of looks up, just flesh sloughing off of it, as if its own acid is dissolving its own skin and it's regenerating it as it's going on.
Hey, man.
Kind
Say,
of bellows out and just vomits up a stomach full of acidic bile that comes racing down towards you. I'm gonna need an agility test to see you out of the way. At
Okay.
-2.
Oh, good.
I don't.
Benny?
Yeah, let's do that. Alright, it's a 5.
-2.
What the heck, damn it!
What's your undead toughness?
Thankfully, I do have more extra of that, so that I believe that is a +2. But let me double check. Yes, +2.
I'm immune to disease and poison.
That doesn't help you here.
Okay.
I would love to say that it did. Actually, I don't know that I would love to say, but I would say it was true.
So I got it's 8 in my toughness.
So you take no damage from it. Your undead flesh seems to resist the corrosive nature of this blast. You heading up or down the stairs?
I'm gonna go up.
All right. As you start clambering up the stairs, leaping from railing to railing, using the stairs to pull yourself up, kind of grabbing the underside of the stairs, flipping around, using the banister and the support beam. You hear the roar of the dragon as it comes crashing in below you, destabilizing the stairwell, but sending it down. As you get up to the top, you can see the 2 gong wardens dead.
This is bad!
One of them has been completely eviscerated. The other one just has a single bloody slash across its neck.
Are they human?
Uh,
They're not like full of gears.
they're not full of gears.
Okay, are there gong paddle thingies
Or
there?
paddle things are there.
I'm gonna grab one of those.
All right, you grab one. You pick it up, and your strength's a D4,
Yeah.
and it slowly hits the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back. Sorry, man. I get it. Not for me.
The door is open, and you can see a bloody handprint on the right hand frame.
Does it look like from one of the gong wardens? Okay.
It looks far too skeletal.
Oh. Well, since these guys are dead, not sure what else I'm doing up here. But also, is the gong still going off?
The gong has not gone off
Okay.
for a while.
So this is the gong of time. I mean, is it the gong of time, or is it like the gong of time? I still don't know.
You don't know?
Now it seems
Okay.
like, a weird time to really be worried about it, but also maybe I should be really worried about it, because it's maybe, sometimes some things like the tower and Crucible, they kind of make reality kind of go around. Maybe the gong of time, if something happened to it, the whole of time stops, which would be bad, but also interesting.
The dragon's head comes bursting through the ruined stairwell, looking around and snapping.
Hey, buddy, I'm busy. I'm having a moment here. Dang it.
Your moment is taken. How would you get?
Jack of diamonds.
2 of hearts. You can have a moment a little longer.
Okay. I'm gonna rush up this. Is there a door? Can I slam the door behind me?
You can slam the door behind you, and it clearly bounces off the frame because it's been broken into.
Oh, well, I should have seen that. I'm gonna keep running up the stairs.
All right, as you run up the stairs, you eventually, you see that you hear dripping from above you, something wet and warm hitting your fur, and then you eventually see a runnel of blood kind of zigzagging, trailing down the stairs.
Fantastic. Somebody dead is upstairs? Hello?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. We'll go up the rest of the stairs. The rest of the way upstairs.
All right, as you get up there, you see this massive gong suspended about 1.5 feet off the ground. Even with your long gibbon arms, you could not get your arms around this thing. And nothing suspends it that you can see. It just sits there
Floating in space.
and it ripples a little bit. As if it's molten. It's got this weird sheen to it. And you can see as there's somebody who comes around the backside of the gong, and he is currently dragging a student. Has his fingers sunk into the chest. And kind of, you can see the person kicking behind you. You recognize Lu Song, another one of your fellow classmates, not someone who was very nice to you.
Hey, buddy, how's it hanging?
He starts screaming his head off.
What do I see? Who's besides Claus?
It's the man who comes around the corner is dressed in a leather skirt that goes from the waist down, buckles and straps kind of holding it together. You get the distinct feeling that each of these pleats of the leather skirt is from some other sentient being.
Cool.
Pale skin, naked from the waist up. You can see little spikes kind of tracing the collarbone
Through the
ribs, through the skin, up the sternum, and there are strips of flesh that have been just removed from his arms. Bald head, very like long pointed ears, almost elfin, save for the pitch black eyes that look at you. You see his teeth have been, as he smiles at you, have been filed into points.
So, is he obviously a vampire? Is he going for a vampire? Or is he something else?
You don't know. He definitely does not have fangs. He, like, all of his teeth have been are pointed.
Interesting.
Pockets Wukong, last of the Monkey King's bloodline.
You keep saying that, but here's the thing. At one point, the alchemist of heaven had my grandpa locked in an oven for 40 days. I'm talking the oven, the same oven that made the world, and he didn't die. So I'm really not sure what you knuckleheads have done to my grandfather or think you've done. You can't kill him, okay? That's the rules, okay?
You see he flexes his hand and just shatters the sternum of this other student, who just hits the ground with a wet plop.
Also, that was very rude.
Kind of starts to uncurl his hands, and viscera and blood just kind of drop in wet clumps to the ground. You are the last. My master says that within you resides all of the remaining potential of the Monkey King's bloodline.
Yeah, that's gross, dude. Super unhygienic.
I to enjoy eating. You can hear the dragon clawing and this tower starts. The tower starts to move back and forth. The gong does not. The gong just sits there, immutable, rippling in unseen air currents. When you look at it, Pockets, you can kind of see several different reflections. It's not reflecting the same thing. You see, adorable little baby Pockets. You see Pockets getting kicked out of.
Sad Pockets leaving.
Yet another. That's standing in the doorway of yet another dojo, kind of silhouetted by the night outside, the light inside, looking back with remorse.
A tiny white gi.
Yeah. No bells. You can see Pockets standing in a strange room, like as if there's a bunch of books and scrolls and curios on display. You see yourself talking with a great silver dragon. You see yourself facing off against several demons. You see yourself standing on the top of a tower looking down over a vast city. You see yourself dealing cards. All of these in the little ripples as they kind of move across the surface of the gong.
Real quick, before you eat all of this, which I might add is very, very fatty and probably bad for your heart. But
you see that there is like a cross-shaped scar over his heart. Not something I have to worry about.
Well, hey man, if there's nothing pushing blood through your veins, you really do need to make sure you keep those arteries clear.
He has crossed half the...
Okay. Before you eat me, I have serious questions. Why are we doing this here? Clearly, this was a place you had to do this right here, next to this giant gong of time, which is either the gong of time or a gong which keeps time, but is an important gong.
You really nothing.
Yeah, no, this is like 8th year stuff right here, okay? This is like important gong stuff. Nobody's allowed up in here.
This is in your blood, Wukong.
Well, I don't know about it, so you're gonna have to fill me in again before I fill you in.
There is a reality out in the myriad that I have visited. And in this thing they tell stories through pictures and sound. In them, this is usually the point where someone in my position lays out his entire...
Yeah, I was getting that. We have to have a dramatic backdrop. You killed this kid just to show that you were serious. It's very tropey. I'm here for it, but I kind of need you to kind of like keep going here so that I can hear the evil plan.
Count. You die screaming, and I consume your soul.
Yeah, okay.
9. We should get that.
7 of clubs.
He's coming for you, but
Dang it.
your parry is 4.
Yeah,
Alright, that's not enough to actually get a raise on you. And your toughness is now 8.
it is 8.
He shakes you.
Okay.
Give me a spirit roll to see if you get to take your action.
I should take my action.
That's always a good thing. I find.
Okay, where's my D6? I'm gonna need this.
You kind of.
There we go. That one explodes. Alright, it's a 6.
Alright, you have your action. What do you do?
Um,
He crossed the distance in a ripple of shadow and blood.
Alright, I'm gonna duck under the gong, and I'm gonna swing up the other side and hit it with both my feet so that like the sound goes his direction. Bong.
Okay. Give me a spirit test.
The spear. Oh, okay. 8. That's a 6.
All right. You hit it, and immediately the whole thing rings out, and everything sort of stops on the other side of the gong. You can actually see the waves rippling out. When they hit the creature, you see it kind of ripples, like you can see as it moves past it sort of ripples out in various images. A very handsome knight you can kind of see a resemblance to, a prisoner tortured, broken, just brutalized, a supplicant before something so dark and evil you don't even know. A man standing at an altar waiting for someone to show up. A husband being told of the death of his spouse. Like all of these things kind of ripple out. Then it hits the dragon. And you see a majestic gold-scaled creature kind of being, carrying off in the ripple to the left. And a young wormling full of excitement and adventure and curiosity. A drake collared and bound, being forced into labor at the behest of some other creature. And finally, an ancient skeleton filled with hate and malice and magic, radiating from every bone and its eye sockets. And then everything kind of stops. And you see a foot step down on the other side of the gong, followed by a second foot. Then a gray robe kind of dropped to the floor.
I assume this is A, the guy I ran into previously, and B, this guy was not in the room before.
He was not in the room before. You went to the backside of the gong, right? So the only place these feet could have for a living. These feet could have come from or out of the gong.
Okay, so he steps out of the gong. I'm gonna duck underneath and look.
A hooded cowl kind of looks under there. Still back there, huh?
Yeah, man, you knocked me over. That
I
was.
didn't knock you over. I gave you the present.
Oh, yeah, the cards are from you.
The cards are from me.
Well, I mean, I threw the first one and I turned into a zombie, so that's cool.
It's going to happen a lot to you.
Damn it, but it is reversible, right? I'm not always going to be a zombie.
New day, new draw.
Fantastic.
You should get over on this side, because this isn't going to last a long time.
All right, I scoot over. Underneath it.
You scoot underneath
Yeah.
it. It's like, could you just go around like a normal person? And the figure kind of scoots back. He's keeping his arms inside the long cowled robe things, keeping the hood up. All right, listen, I don't have a lot of time to explain. But those cards link you to a place. They link you to a city called Crucible. That gong can take you there. This doesn't end well for the same. The same is never the same again.
Cool. what if I don't want to go to the city?
And kind of rubs at his, what you assume is his forehead. Then, as soon as this time wave hits the wall, the effect breaks, and that guy is going to kill you, or that thing is going to kill both of us. And let me tell you, the improbability of both of us dying here at this moment. It's probably going to fracture and put cracks through the halls of the thousand halls. There will be a lot of people angry at us, even though we will be dead. And these are the kind of people who death, it doesn't matter.
But that's cool because that means that you and I are actually part of reality enough that if we're dead, it screws things up. I can dig that. That feels right.
You know, you've got a really good point. You forgot one thing.
That's pretty normal.
Give me an athletic.
Oh no. It's a 6.
I'm spending.
Okay.
7.
Okay.
Hands come out of the robe. Hands that they are missing one of their fingers on the left hand and 2 knuckles off one of their fingers on the right. But they are given hands. And they grab you and they throw you into the gong. And as you hit, everything kind of ripples and you land in an alley. No gong, nothing. Massive tower up in the distance. You're pretty sure you landed on a gong. Different kind of gong. The farmable kind.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Card case kind of falls out. Cards kind of splay out in front of you.
So probably, yeah.
I'm in Crucible.
You are in Crucible.
Hello? Was there any further instructions?
As you yell out, you can see several pairs of low-to-the-ground eyes kind of come around the corner, kind of stand up, draw little blades, and something comes swooping down out of the sky, lands in front of you after doing a flip off of something. It was flying for a second, and now it's not. And standing in front of you is in armor with pulls out twin blades and a magnificent silver mohawk. This woman says, "Get behind me."
Okay.
That's where we'll pause in our one shot for tonight, except for as the gong ripples, time waves continue out. Was I always like that? Pulling back the hood is a much older Pockets. Pulls out another case. Right, now I have to, and he jumps back through the time gong. Through a little pause. Excellent. So that was our little one shot of Pockets last night at university. Every time we have a smaller group, we're going to try and do little shorter 1 hour backstories on the characters. But we got a little bit of time. First of all, we've officially unlocked the next stretch goal for... we've unlocked the second stretch goal for Emporia. There are now going to be ribbons as bookmarks in the book. And we may actually hit the third one, and I will have to post new ones.
Amazing.
Coming up soon. This is amazing. We've almost crossed $17,000 on the Emporia Kickstarter. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about Crucible. We're here to play Savage Worlds. And so, Ben, I thought we would take the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, Savage Worlds was one of your very first games that you wanted to get into. Why was that?
I did a bunch of research. Basically, I was at that point. It was D&D 4th edition, which, for all of its merits, and I really do like it.
I adore D&D.
There is a bit of a learning curve in the sense that it sort of expects you to have a certain relationship with the lore, as well as a certain tactical management.
It rewards highly tactical play.
Right, and it was to me that was intimidating. So I sort of like, okay, what else is there?
Did I run your first 4th edition game for you? Like,
yeah, I had almost the complete run before I got married, and then I sold it off.
oh, I did too.
But then I picked up a whole bunch more. You actually ran it for me, and it was super fun.
It is. It's a great game.
Yeah. So I did Savage Worlds instead, which I never actually got to play it until now either.
Okay. So what is your like? You played a lot of games.
Yep.
I would say a large number of them with me.
Yep. Fair enough.
A large number of them with Richard.
Yep.
You've kind of now found your own groove in the DCC space. How's your experience with Savage Worlds been?
It's super fun. I mean, it's highly functional in the sense that there's this. And in general, there is an issue that I have with like systems where they want to apply one system to everything. You know, I much prefer setting specific rules, but done the way the Savage Worlds does it, super intelligent, super smart, and it's malleable enough, and that it actually you can make it feels setting specific
With the setting rules.
without actually having to actually learn a new system. Or, I mean, there's so many different things that you can basically slot in. You know, change out the hindrances, change out the edges, change out add different skills, and basically you have.
Well, and then the setting rules, right? You
Yeah.
can apply the setting rules like factions or no wound cap.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that we're using. Yeah.
And so exactly. I mean, so it lives up to the hype. It's fantastic. It's fun, and I mean, we were messing around a couple weekends ago, making Rifts characters with kids.
Yeah.
And it works really well for that too.
Yeah, it was. I think I was talking about this with Savage Pathfinder. The fact that Savage Worlds did Rifts, and I was like, well, it's got to be better than Palladium, and that was really my low bar. And they managed to capture the feel of Rifts without sacrificing the fun and fast playability of Savage Worlds. That hooked me.
Yeah.
And then from that, it went to Savage Pathfinder, and then Deadlands, and Holler, and the Sixth Gun. I've got Hell of the High Plains coming in. When it comes in, I'll do an unboxing, and we'll probably definitely have to chat about it. Because
Weird Wets is another one of mine.
Weird Wets just hits so many.
Yeah.
All right. So I got 2 more questions, because I figured it was going to be a short little, just kind of. When I pitched Crucible, I think there was a little bit of.
Yeah. Mostly because there's this general fear that I have going into almost anything that it's going to be too normal.
Play with me?
I have, and I should have known better. But there's I think, who was that? Gabe the other day was basically quoting Hunter S. Thompson, that Hunter S. Thompson was like, it's never weird enough.
Yeah.
It was never weird enough. I'm in a very similar position. Like, just about everything, I need it to go like that extra step of strange, something I've never done before, something I've never heard of before. You know, I'm not the sort of person that's gonna, you know, I will binge 6 books of Dresden Files and be like, okay, there's nothing really new happening here. God bless Jim Butcher. People seem to love what he's doing, but it really feels samey. I need this weirder. Like, let's do something with this. There's a lot of potential here, and we're basically just doing what sells. Which again, God bless, lots of people love what he's doing. So no shame on that.
I read all the way through the current book, so.
Yeah. Like, one thing that I've realized growing up as a nerd, maturing as a nerd, is basically people like what you like. Like, there is no harm if I don't like what you like, or vice versa. I'm not harmed if you don't dig everything that I like. Even if you make terrible Hellboy movies, I will forgive you and we'll wait for the next one, I guess.
Yeah. About a half hour left in the latest one. But when did it gel for you? Because it feels like we've had a lot of conversations about, you're like, man, this would be a great comic, or this would be a great.
I think probably once I actually, maybe the first 1 or 2 sessions in, once I actually got to kind of see the characters. Because that's the other thing is, with the right group, just about any setting can be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
it's really about the characters when it really comes down to it. The setting can do some of the work, but it really is going to come down to the characters. And you always have some players, and I think I mentioned this before in the chat. There's some players that, what they're looking for is not a story. They're really looking for, they're in a competition. Sometimes they're in a competition with the GM, sometimes they're in a competition with the players, sometimes they're in a competition with themselves or with the system, trying to make the best character. Or I don't know, maybe they're an engineer and that's their jam. That's what is fun to them, and you know what, more power to them. That's how they want to play. But it doesn't always result in the most interesting narrative, because it almost means that you have almost like a robot on the team who doesn't really say much, who basically shows up and hits things and is fantastic at it, and honestly kind of steals some of the fun from everybody else by nature of just being so good.
Yeah.
But also not doing anything other than being so good.
They're good at their one thing.
They're good at their one thing.
In a game where it's very compartmentalized, like Shadowrun, you want those hyper specialized. What do you do? I hack.
Yeah,
but what else do you? I deck. That's
yeah. But also the whole framework of that setting is around those type of characters. Like you build a crew, and each one has their special, like a heist, right? And heist movies are fun because each one of those people are weird and interesting in their own way. But in something more generalized, like most of the games we play, it's very easy to fall into that rut. So basically seeing that every single one of these characters had a really solid hook, like I don't know what's going on. I don't know what kind of trauma happened over here to Ape that she became, a conduit of the Morgan. Like that sounds awful. Like every encounter she's had with the Morgan just sounds super antagonistic. What's going on there? Like Chen has this sort of wonderful, almost like John Hughesian, sort of 1980s high school thing going on. But there's hoverboards and mohawks and dragons involved.
Yeah.
Of course nobody really knows what's going on with Samsaro, but again, this
very noir.
It's very noir. It's like this extension of the city is I get it. Every single one has their own sort of mystery that again I would read these individual stories. But again, if there was a way to see all those stories, side by side, and where they intertwine, I think that could be. I mean, we're already doing that to an extent, but I think that could kick.
All right. So last question: Pockets.
Okay.
We've seen him fail a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of terrible, and
I adore him.
Okay.
Like you came to me, you're like, I want to play the great grandson of the Monkey King. I'm like, awesome. You're like, and I want him to be horrible at it. Like what? Like it being the great grandson of the Monkey King. Okay. So how did you come up with Pockets? Like, are you enjoying playing Pockets? And then, where do you want to see? In your mind, what is Pockets' brightest resolution of his story?
I came up with it basically we're looking at character options, which in this space, you basically kicked it over and said whatever.
Yeah, bring it to me, yeah.
And so I did thumbnails, which is something you do in art or interior or design, where you basically just write down 10 ideas, and usually the farther down you go on the list, the more you come up with things that you wouldn't have thought of before, because you get rid of the normal ideas, the first 3 or 4. So I think he was number 7 on the list. There were ones that were like a wizard that's like a worm in someone's brain, and so
that would have been awesome.
Every time he's trying to be an ethical worm wizard, so he's only he hops in somebody's body, and then he tries to do something for them while he's pursuing his own ends, so they actually have he's paying rent. But
you grokked and just bought in wholehearted into the idea of Crucible, like a living city.
And I mean, it works. I'm glad it's a little too close to what Sam does.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we went a different direction with it. But there was a bunch of different ones in there, and if Pockets, I'll probably bring some of them in. But I think probably the ideal form of Pockets would probably be, in some sense, the ninth way that maybe the Sun King is immortal. Like the Monkey King's immortal, in the sense that he is somehow able to re-embody the Monkey King. But again, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but because I sort of feel like like Fox was saying tonight, if the Monkey King has been alive for as long as he has been, and he's basically, the guy who looks up at heaven and goes, "What the hell?" and looks down at hell and goes, "Not today."
Yeah.
Then he's got some plan or some idea of how he's going to deal with that if it happens. Especially that seems to be a much more zen place after Journey to the West.
Yeah.
Awesome. So so 9 Ways Immortal. But that would be ideal. Again, I'm completely open to whatever happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing planned for Pockets. My GM style with Crucible is I did all of my work setting up the city and the relationships, and a couple of threads, and the ones you pull on are the ones that come tumbling down at you. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in. For watching on YouTube, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We're taking next week off. The crew and I will be playing Jackals. Most people at the table have not played Jackals. We're not going to stream it. It's just going to be a fun off night for us. But we'll be back in 2 weeks. So we finish the ascent of Monkey Mountain and see what happens. We had a really good Lynchian story last time, so go check that out on the YouTube channel. Tonight, whenever we get to, and again, thank you to Tinker Hellraiser for putting together the image of the zombie and the skeleton running down the alley. I had a very Quentin Tarantino adventure planned for tonight, and I think I had about 3 hours notice that is not what I would be running tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like what we do, like us give us a thumbs up, helps the algorithm. Leave a comment, follow us here on Twitch. If you really like what we're doing, jump over to patreon.com/production. Join the patronage, hang out with Pockets on the Discord channel. I promise Ben is at least as interesting, if not way more.
And maybe less annoying, maybe? I don't know.
All right, so until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I am Jam. This has been a Crucible one-shot, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Take care, y'all.
Have a good one.